Okay, let's talk about Tesla. Tesla in Germany. Local officials just outside Berlin are now apparently indefinitely postponing a vote on Tesla's plan to expand its factory just outside the capital. Let's talk about why, what is happening here, what that expansion would look like. We're joined on set by Bloomberg's Craig Trudell, who oversees our global auto coverage. Craig, walk me through what is happening here. We've got the site. The site is obviously kind of up and running. We're going to be looking at cars coming out of it. But there was an expansion of rail yards, all these kind of other things that Tesla wanted to build around this original project.
Right, and that's the key here in terms of assessing how big a deal this is. I mean, we're not talking necessarily about, a hard and fast going from such and such number of vehicles per week to another number. This may be a case where sort of on the margins, it helps them run more smoothly, boost production a little bit. It has to do with stockpiling parts, improving rail links. I think one of the big questions is just how much this is a reflection of, the sort of supply chain chaos. Elon Musk has described this as supply chain hell. Yeah. The idea that they're trying to, make space and kind of actually put in place, an expansion to stockpile parts sort of does suggest some breakdown in the way that supply chains for the auto industry usually work. Usually you want just in time and not to stockpile a whole lot of parts.
Why is this a problem? What are the local authorities saying? What was this vote about? And why is it being resisted?
Yeah, this was a report by the broadcaster RBB. It's a little unclear exactly what sorts of things need to be clarified in order for this vote to proceed and this to get put back on the agenda. The wording of this report is a little bit vague in terms of what exactly authorities are hung up on. But this is also just sort of in keeping with, what we've seen for what we saw for months before Musk was able to open this plant back in March. You heard Tesla complain about, irritating difficulties with getting approvals. And so this is, more where that came from, essentially. I think the company has talked about this idea that Germany needs to go through this industrial transformation and that this sort of bureaucracy is really standing in the way.
Craig, does this open the door to other EV makers in Germany to play a little catch-up? Does it at all inhibit Musk's ability to sell EVs there if they don't make them there?
I think it's possible that it maybe on the margins helps some of the other companies, but I think everybody's in a situation where they just can't make enough EVs right now to meet demand, and you're seeing and hearing about waiting lists months and even more than a year out for certain models. This is a case where everybody's having a hard time keeping up. The chip crisis is continuing to be an issue. I think there's still a real open question just how much the energy crisis in Europe will have an inhibiting effect on production, because it is, the process of making batteries is after all a very energy intensive process. So, there doesn't necessarily seem to be any sort of relief in sight for anybody. So this may be just a case of another, way in which localizing production for Tesla is set back a bit and maybe extends the amount of time they need to continue relying on the plant in Shanghai to supplement the plant near Berlin.